Hey everybody, I'm just waiting for my friend Ari to join us. And my friend, hey, I'm gonna wave back. How's it going, everybody? My my mascot really wants to talk. Mila, come here. Come say hi to everybody. Come on. All right, so Ari's gonna join us shortly. James Brown! What's up? Hi everybody. Aw. Jordy, Fight Club, Sicily. Oh, I love you. I think I might have some weird filter on here, guys. Let's see. Hopefully Ari is coming soon. Hold on, guys. Let me have a look. Hi from Istanbul. Nope. Hi, Star 1961. India. So cool. Chile. Aw. Love you guys. Let's see. Hopefully he will join us soon. I think this filter's a bit much, guys. Mila, come here. Come here. Well, today we're going to talk about a really cool organization called Grow NYC, and they're celebrating their 50 years. Is an amazing organization in New York. Guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab my dog. Hold on. Come here. Stop it. Stop it. Come say hi to everybody. Come say hi. Okay. Here's Mila. And she is very chatty this morning. She's going to say hi to you guys. All right. Where's Ari? Does anybody have a good joke? Heather! Maya! Aw. So, somebody from Iran? So cool. Hi, everybody. France, Mexico, Brazil. This is so cool. I love seeing you guys from all over the world. It's awesome. I'm in LA. Somebody asked me where I was. Hi, Austria, Sudan, Italy. Love you guys. Holly. Mila, I know, she's a nut. She's a nut. This is my, attachment, you guys. All right, let me see what's happening here with my friend Ari. I'm gonna check the requests. 1 second, guys. Keeper soap. Here we go. He's coming. You guys are very patient. Hi, Germany.
There
Hey,
I am. Hi.
how are you?
That was super simple.
Well, I've been entertaining everybody with Mila. Mila's been barking and talking and been showing everybody Mila. We've been saying hi to everybody from all over the world. Literally, we have people from Moscow, Iran,
Great.
Brazil, Italy, Ecuador. So
Welcome,
cool.
everybody.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I kind of talked a little second about Grow NYC, but since this is your takeover, how about it?
Sure. Taking over of my own account. I'm gonna we had some technical difficulties getting into the other account, but basically, Amber, if you didn't already say it, it's Grow NYC's 50th anniversary this year, so this is why they're putting on a Culture of Sustainability Week. It brings together New York leaders across art, design, fashion, music, and food and beverage to showcase their methods of sustainability and how you too can operate in a more sustainable way in your daily routines and in your consumer decisions. So that is why we're here today. And if you guys are so inclined, I think we pinned already. Did you pin the Grow NYC info so that if you want to donate to Grow NYC?
Do that.
Yeah, we should put in the comment and pin it.
You do that?
I can do that.
Okay.
And just
But
so in case anybody's not familiar with Grow NYC, largest environmental organization in New York City, and they operate the green market. So most
they,
notably, Union Square Green Market, which I think we've all spent a lot of time at. Community gardens, recycling, education programs throughout all of the boroughs. And I will put this up now. And that's under Keeper. You can see that there.
so if you guys want to donate even just a little bit to Grow NYC, gotten hit pretty hard, like we all know. So if you can do it, it'd be awesome.
Yep, agreed. All right, so numbers. Hello. How's everybody doing around the world? So today I'm excited to talk about talk to Amber about some sustainability questions. To talk about Amber too. And I think I'd love to actually open this up to questions too as we get a little bit further in. And so if you have questions about sustainability or specific questions for Amber or I, you should obviously feel free to put them in the comments and we will try to get some in a few minutes. All right, so Elizabeth Hill, hello. We love you. I think my mom's on here too, by the way. I guess the first question for you is, you've been I would say a sustainability warrior now for many, many years. And so was there something that led you to this? You've worked across many industries, and I'm wondering if it was like one event that happened in your life that drove you this way, or was it something that happened over time? And kind of talk about that a little bit, please.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really I didn't have like an epiphany one day and decide like, oh, I want to focus on environmental or sustainability, environmental justice. But I think for me, I grew up in Oklahoma and in nature. And so I just have always had a love and respect for nature. And then slowly becoming a mother and learning about all the environmental issues back when Gore was vice president. And I was living in New York and I was studying environmental studies at NYU. I just kind of started putting pieces together and started seeing the discrepancies and in fashion and also just in my own life. And I'm gonna kill my dog. And
that's not very sustainable.
So I might have to pick her up. She's gonna drive me crazy.
That's okay. She can join.
She will join. So that's kind of the basis. And my mom was also an activist. So I saw that activism play out in my childhood and in my life. And, I think all the dots connect when you get to a certain age and you realize I want to live my life through values and not necessarily through just what can I get or, you want to live. I do anyway.
I think you did. What's that?
Grab her.
Yeah, grab the dog. I mean, I'll talk to the audience real quick and say that I think becoming a parent actually is a big turning point for a lot of people. I think it's a tipping point when you kind of start to see your own mortality and the cycle of life happen. And
yeah,
that definitely is something that I think a lot of folks become a lot more aware of how they're leaving the world versus living in it. And so I think that happened for me as well.
Yeah.
So for you, I think, do you feel like, COVID has changed a lot of things, obviously, a lot of industries, a lot of products, a lot of way people are purchasing and consuming. Like, do you see, from your perspective, anything that is changing for the better or for the worse during this moment in time?
I mean, I think it's given everybody, whether you're, just personally or we're talking about businesses, governments, it's given everyone an opportunity to reset and look at what's really important and what do we need and how do we want to shape the future. It's almost like we were given it, as dark as this time has been for so many on so many levels and the lives lost, there's been, I think, a great gift of reflection and reset for all of us to really slow down and think about our lives and what do we want the future to look like. And I think on a whole, most people around the world, even before this, but even more so now during COVID, people want to live a life that is well, and they want a planet that's well.
Yeah.
And that prosperity doesn't necessarily come in monetary forms. It's also an internal state, and it's also a state of how the world is and how we act in it.
Yeah, agreed. I think we have a phrase that we use at A-Frame, which is it's adopted from many people. I think this came from the Clinton administration at some point, but one of our advisors, Hill Harper, always likes to say that you got to do good and do well and do good. And I
Yep.
think that that's something we're seeing in COVID is, I mean, it's changing so many things, but I always tell people the story of like when I got out of graduate school, it was 2009, it was a recession, and it forced a lot of people to start new things. And
Yeah.
I think we're in one of those creative destruction times, and there's obviously a lot of horrible things going on, but the positive things that are happening, I think, hopefully there'll be some glimmers of hope out of this, some silver lining to this.
Abs- Absolutely. I mean, I guess you can choose, which perception you want to live your life by, and I choose most of the time to live in a hopeful state, and believe that humans have the power to do better and to change, and that ultimately we all want to thrive and want to do good in life. Not necessarily, it's not all about prestige and power, but more to the point, people want to live and be able to take care of their families and have health care and have a healthy environment and be able to move about and do things safely, and feel that they are safe in their own skin and in their
Yeah.
neighborhood, that people are treated fairly. And so I think this time has been really powerful.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're also, it's at least in the States, and I know there's a lot of folks on this live that are from overseas. I will say that even in LA, where both of us are now, we had a lot of, we'll say, activity during the summer. It was I mean, such an interesting and troubling time, and so many, I think, issues were brought to the fore because of what was happening just
Yeah,
in race relations in the U.S. And those are conversations that needed to be had. And
absolutely.
it goes back to sustainability. I mean, honestly, this is back to sustainability. And Grow NYC, I think, interestingly, the things that they do in terms of just agricultural programs, food, basic staple items that people need, like they became so much more important. People started to recognize what a frontline worker was. Like we didn't even know what a frontline worker was.
Yeah,
That phrase hadn't entered our lexicon 9 months ago. And I think that we're increasingly appreciating the work that those folks are doing, and we should,
yeah,
wherever we are around the world. Um, so I'm thinking about like, we were talking originally about focusing this on kind of our, both of us are in sustainability businesses. Um, I'm wondering though, like if we think about it from the folks that are on the live right now, if you think about things that you could do every day that make a difference, if it's one or two things, like what are the things you do in your daily routine or that you can change right now that really change your impact on the earth, on the world? Are there simple things?
absolutely. I think, for me, there's like simply changing out the light bulbs in your house to be more efficient. I mean, it's a no brainer, it's not expensive. Turning off lights, turning off water when you brush your teeth or you're washing your dishes. The little things add up, and I don't know that people realize that
Yeah.
those simple little acts, if you just put yourself in another situation that there's a big portion of the planet that is living without clean water, then you don't take clean water for granted, and you turn off your sink when you're brushing your teeth. um, Walk instead of drive if you can. um, Also, shop locally, like whether it's buying clothing or you're buying food. If you can buy from local farmers, it's even better. um, Recycling, so also a no-brainer. And like, just how it's like, for me, it's almost a game sometimes, like what can I do less of, and like what could I change from plastic to glass, or um, a solid substance instead of plastic, and
Yeah.
kind of seeking out new companies and supporting those smaller brands that are doing things the right way, or trying to, at least.
This to me is like the single biggest thing that you can do, right? Look at both of us have that. So everybody on this live, if you don't have a reusable water bottle, there's
That's
your simple one step that you can do today.
no
Just
brainer.
stop drinking bottled water out of plastic bottles.
Yeah, and
Refill.
taking plastic bags from stores when you get one
Yeah.
off.
Somebody just put that in the comments.
Crazy. Drives me
Yeah.
crazy. I always use my reusable bags. I
You
sell
know,
them.
somebody did, it was funny that came up right as you said that. I was in a meeting a couple months ago and it was in an office, and somebody had set us up in the office, and the woman who had set us up said, "Hey, can I get anybody some water?" And my default is to say yes or no, depending on whether I'm thirsty. This gentleman that I was with said, if it's in a if it's not in a plastic bottle, yes, just just drew a line right across, right? And so whether he's thirsty or not, if he's thirsty, he's not going to take it if it's in a plastic bottle, and he's just making that everyday decision. And I think it was a great example. It was like one of those aha moments for me when I
Really,
experienced that.
really cool.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're in a business, let's say some of us are on this call are in sustainability or in business generally. We have jobs or we run companies. There are entrepreneurs probably on this call globally. Are there resources that you think are particularly helpful to assist in kind of making your business more sustainable, regardless of what industry you work in?
Absolutely. I love the UN sustainable goals. I think they're just a perfect roadmap for businesses and individuals, and they just lay it out simply. That doesn't feel biased. It just is like kind of factual and hopeful, which is always, I guess, like I told you, my perspective on things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find them like a really good resource. If you're here in the US, you can be a B Corp, which is always great to start your business off in the right way. If you're specifically in fashion, there's a few really great resources. The Copenhagen Fashion Summit does this annual report called The Pulse. It's pretty dense, but it's got a lot of information. And then I think finding NGOs that you trust and that you like. They always have a lot of good information, but especially finding ones that see partner up with other people that are collaborative. And for me, like I get a lot of my environmental data from Greenpeace, and I kind of believe the ones that are a little bit more hardcore and a little bit more straight to the point.
Yeah, agreed.
And then I just follow a lot of people on Instagram that I know are influential in this space and trying to do the right thing. And I'm lucky because I have resources, so I'm tapped into some educators too that are scientists, and so that's pretty cool. But if you look on any of those in those spaces like FIT or Parsons or St. Martin's, they have a lot of open sourcing information that you can be a part of. Also Slow Factory. So there's a lot of
That's great. Yeah. And I think, we were going to open it up to questions. I saw somebody, it looked like Michelle had mentioned about takeout food and delivery waste, which I think is an interesting topic for all of us, given how much we are homebound right now. In my opinion, it's one of the most difficult things about taking food out and picking up delivery is that there's a lot of plastic. And even the plastic that says it's recyclable, we all know that is actually not getting recycled in most cases. So it's a tough one. That's a real quandary. And I think, in my opinion, if you're a regular at a restaurant that you get takeout from or delivery repeatedly, like talk to them about it, because it is something that you can actually impact. And there are resources that are widely available, more cardboard, et cetera. And that makes a big impact for people. So I just think it speaks to your own ability to kind of make an impact just by standing up and saying, hey, let's think differently about that.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen a lot of comments about plastic.
Yeah.
Hello, Doug Hand. Thank you for the shout out.
What did you say?
Doug Hand is giving us a shout out. That's one of our mutual old friends. We love seeing you too, Doug.
She's like 13 or 14, so I want to say hi to Ava. Yeah, plastic is a huge issue. I think it's one we all can do better on, and like you said, it's really hard during COVID because they won't let you bring your cup from home anymore to get your coffee and they use a plastic lid.
That's right.
Or your container, like at not Whole Foods, at Erewhon, you used to be able to bring a glass container from them and refill up your food. I mean, luckily they use cardboard, but a lot of places don't. It's plastic. So yeah, it's I think we can do better there. We can do
Yeah,
better.
agreed. And we've got a question from HP2456 about any idea how to spread the word on recycling when in a city or town fails, the neighborhood fails at recycling.
Well,
My response would be just I think you have to take the initiative and not consume products where possible that don't that have plastic, but also if you can reuse things, whatever that's whatever is reasonable. I think you just even getting one or two more reuses out of something is worth it. It does make a difference.
but we also have to hold our officials accountable. You know,
Agreed.
one of the things that I learned from this kind of last couple years is that, we can't take our hands off the wheel and think that our officials, no matter if they're the party that we choose or the other parties, we have to keep people that are elected accountable to the things that we believe in, that we want them to work on for us. And so, just because someone says they are going to do this, you got to follow up and make sure they're doing
That's right.
it. It can be on a city level, and it's state, and then federal. So we are all, government is us, the people, at least in this country. So we have to remember to use our power, and we've seen a big change in the last, this year was a huge change.
Yeah, I would say like to those who can run, get
Exactly.
involved, school board, city
Right.
councils, whatever it is. I think you have to realize that you do make an impact, and the most impact you can make is on the municipal level, actually locally. It
Yeah.
can be in your neighborhood, but whatever you can do, you have to take that initiative. You cannot wait for somebody else. If not now, when is an old proverb that many of us have heard, and this is
Yeah.
the time. It really is.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. So there's a couple more questions around plastic. There's actually one specifically around plastic straws, single-use plastics.
Freaking
I
fast.
think yes, get rid of that. Get rid of.
Oh,
We all believe very strongly in that. Can I tell you what I think the next shoe to fall is? I was researching products that are used like that have wide use globally that are not sustainable, that are not recyclable, that are not biodegradable. Chewing gum. The chewing gum is not biodegradable. So it literally like yes, there's a something that people use globally. It's a very simple product. It's very inexpensive. Originally, it was made from gum from a tree. It's not anymore for most cases, and it's actually a product that is easily changeable back to the original form. I think we're seeing a lot of like back to the basics and back to some of the
like,
formulas that our grandparents used.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Great.
Somebody
Now
put a plastic toothbrush, another good one.
things some said micro beads, and yeah, most micro beads are banned now.
And cigarette butts, somebody
But
pointed out. Yeah.
yeah,
Don't smoke.
oh, that's an easy.
That's an easy one, right?
I Charles, someone said gum is not biodegradable. Yeah, that's what Ari told us because they put plastic in it. Is that why?
No, it's natural gum that's actually made out of gum from the tree is, but
Right.
that's not what most people are actually chewing these days. So we can do everybody, all, I don't know how to share a link right now, but there's a lot of literature on this. So it's just, it's just more to open everybody's eyes and think about what do you do in your everyday life that you can change. So I love the idea of toothbrushes. That's definitely one. What is it that you're doing every day? Like look at your routine. Somebody also challenged me a while back to say, take plastic out of your life. See if you can do that for a week or a month. How long can you go? And it's very, very hard.
It's
Very,
hard.
very hard.
It's really hard. And, that's why I was telling you, I feel like I like to do things and make it a creative challenge rather than like, you know, beating myself up. And, we can all get very like perfectionistic, and then you get paralyzed and you don't do anything. So I try to make it a little bit lighter and like, okay, hey, now that this toothpaste ran out, what can I do instead of buying another plastic tube? We talked about the
Yeah, as we've discussed. Yeah. Yeah, we've been looking at oral care specifically at A-Frame because we think there's so many different, kind of products that are like people pointed out, toothbrush, floss, for
yeah.
example. These are products. Plastic makes things cheap. It makes it easy. We went through a lot of drama just trying to not use plastic bottles in our soap brand, Keeper, which we're hosting from here. It's not the default, we'll put it that way.
Somebody said that they live in the ocean and they do cleanups daily, just like that. So I think there's something to be said about random acts of kindness to the planet. You don't have to like join an NGO or a group or whatever to pick up a piece of trash. Like I pick up, even now during COVID, I get in trouble for it from my family, but I still pick up trash when I see it and we're on a hike or something.
It makes
Um,
me think of somebody else brought this up, and I thought I was the only person that noticed this and thought about it for years. But if anybody's ever watched the TV show Mad Men, which was a great show that ran for many years, there is a scene where the Drapers go to the park and they have
uh-huh,
a picnic, and when
uh-huh.
they're done with their picnic, they stand up and they literally just shake their blanket off and throw all the trash in the park and walk away.
It's
And
so,
it was one of those things where I watched and I was like, that would you ever do that today?
no,
Probably not. But this is something that it just points to the fact that behavior patterns really do have a generational shift. And some things that we are doing today, our kids and our grandkids will say, "How the hell did you think that was okay?"
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And somebody asked about oral care. So toothbrushes,
Yep.
there are bamboo and wood toothbrush options out there, or there are rechangeable, interchangeable heads where you
Yeah,
can buy a handle and then change the head out. And so you're at least throwing out less. And there are some floss options out there that are made with more environmentally friendly options. There are toothpastes that come in metal aluminum tubes, which is what they used before plastic existed. There are also tablets. There's rinses. We just have to. These are behavior patterns that we have to change, and that's really on us. And these things are very possible because 50 years ago or 100 years ago, they were not doing anything like what we do every day.
no.
Um,
Go
so
back to
I think, go ahead,
glass.
Amber. What's that?
We got to go back to using things like glass too more. I mean, glass is eternally recyclable, and it's not. It's made from sand. I mean, it's just so easy.
It is one of the most available resources on the planet, actually.
Yeah.
So somebody brought up, and I think this is a really good one, classism, green options. Um,
What did they?
Totally, it was classism. So Dylan Rose, classism when it comes to green options is an important conversation as well, creating green option to cater to all classes. Totally agree with you.
Uh-huh.
This should not be something that is a price point
Agree.
specific issue, and that's something that I think we all have to be, um, I guess, as people who are consumers or business people, we have to be on top of, because you're absolutely right. This has to be something that everybody can participate in, and it's not a tax on those who are less wealthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're coming up on a half an hour here, and we started a few minutes late. Do we have let's see, anything else, Amber, that you want to hit before we wrap up, or anything we missed? Lots of comments about how much people love you, Amber. I second that.
Today is I love you too, Ari, and I love everybody here today for joining us. I think it's just important that we all collaborate together and do our part, and that no act of um, doing something sustainable is too small, that everything makes a difference, and that every person has the power to be a change maker in this planet. And we are the sum of a bigger whole. And so, we can all do something. And it's exciting. There's so many young people today who can start businesses that are responsible and sustainable and conscientious, and that are not just about padding their pockets with wealth, but about creating a healthy planet and having a sustainable business that's profitable.
Agreed. I think that's something I'd like to echo as we close out. Just thinking about, I believe very strongly in commerce as activism. I
Yep.
think that business, in many cases, can lead. I think that's something that has been proven generation after generation. So if you are in the commercial sector, thinking about how you can act differently in the way that you lead as a business, even in your everyday life, these actions do matter, and everybody needs to step up. Also, everybody being a little nicer to each other. I think we all are we're all struggling and having a tough time in a very difficult environment, and people in different ways and different circumstances. But it's not easy for anybody. So we appreciate how hard it is and the challenges of today, and we hope that leads to some great ideas and some real we'll call it renaissance that comes out of this era. So thank you everybody for your attention and for your interest in this subject. And I think that Amber, you've been a trailblazer here for many years, and we really appreciate it. And your fans on Instagram clearly love what you're doing. So keep it up. And
Thank
we
you.
yes, have a great day, everybody, wherever you are in the world, and be excellent to each other, as they said in a movie many years ago.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks,
Okay,
Sarah.
bye bye.
How do I save this? Does anybody know? I gotta figure out how to save this. Somebody help me. Live. Does anybody know how I save it? If you do, send me. Let's see. All right, bye, you guys. I hope I can figure out how to save this.